guys, so the New Year's is coming up, and in the past I'm sure we've all made resolutions that we haven't been able to stick to very long, maybe 1 or 2 weeks in. And it sucks because like why don't they last like we want them to? Like I've read Atomic Habits 3 times in my life and I've learned so much from this book, and I feel like every single person should read it. If you're not going to sit down and read this book, I still want everyone to know these lessons. So I'm going to summarize the best lessons I've learned from this book, and hopefully you can take these and run with them in 2023 to create long-lasting good habits or break bad ones. Okay, lesson 1 is to make the habit you want to create a part of your identity. Basically, we are gonna keep doing what we think we are like. Okay, so if I decide I am the person who wakes up in the morning and has a productive day, I will start doing those things to become that person. It's kind of hard to describe, so I have an example of how I used this over the summer. I became a person who went to the gym every single day, and this is because I decided I wanted to be that person, and I made it a part of my identity. I started getting up and going, and I told people about it. This created a lot of accountability for me because people would start saying, "How was the gym today?" And this kind of like reassured that I was going, and like I became this person. So also going into 2023 to help me set up this mindset for creating habits that are a part of my identity, I wrote down 3 affirmations that I think I want to embody in 2023. So I wrote down about my business, 1 about my spirituality, and 1 about my health. And they are affirmations, so like this isn't it, but for example, maybe 1 would be, I eat fruits and vegetables every day to properly give myself the nutrition I need. And that would be an affirmation you could write for 2023 to help become that person. Affirm it about who you are. Become that person, and your habits will start aligning, because how could you be the person who goes to the gym every day if you don't go to the gym every day? This one is definitely all mental, and if this doesn't work for you, maybe the next lesson. Okay, next thing I learned is the law of least effort. This means that you have to make your habits easy if you want to do them, and you have to make bad habits impossible. So we all know that when our house is filled with junk food, we're going to probably eat the junk food. It's the same thing with like habits like watching television and scrolling on your phone take up a lot of time because they are so easy. It takes no effort to get on your phone and start scrolling. Same thing with turning on the TV. That is why these habits take up time. If you want to create a habit that is happening and is easy for you, you have to make it obvious, easy, and really, really convenient. The more friction there is between you and your desired state, the least likely you are going to do it. For this example, I think of my mom who bought a rowing machine, and instead of putting it in the basement where it kind of belongs, she put it in her bedroom. This makes it so easy to see, and it makes it so obvious, and it makes it very, very little friction to just get on the rower and get her exercise in. This is a very smart idea, and I kind of do the same thing for journaling. I will keep my journal right beside my bed. This goes for if I'm drinking more water, I'm keeping my water bottle near me every single place I go. You have to make these habits easy for you to do them. Your brain, you have to trick your brain. Your brain's gonna do what's easiest. I know if your heart wants to do something, but your brain is what's controlling you. So you have to play that game. The next crucial lesson is that motivation is overrated. Just throw that idea about if you will be motivated, you'll do it out the window, because environment is everything. Truly, your environment determines your habits. So a lot of people think that highly productive people and people who achieve their goals are people that just have more self-control or have more motivation. But this isn't true. We all have an equal amount of motivation and self-control to use. The people who are highly productive and achieve their goals just have to use less throughout the day. So if you surround yourself in an environment that encourages your habits and makes the bad habits a lot harder, you will be more successful. For example, if you want to eat healthier, but your pantry is stocked with chips, candy, and cookies, you're gonna want to lean toward that. It's easy to eat that. That's why like people who start going healthier like will throw out everything bad in their kitchen, because then you have to leave the house to go get these things. So if you just control your environment and you create an environment that is productive and easier, you will need less motivation to do the right thing, because the right thing will just be obvious right in front of you. You do not have to be particularly motivated to do the right thing. You just have to make the wrong thing so hard and like out of your environment. In the book, they talk about someone who gets on the video game instead of doing their homework. Instead, after you play video games, unplug your console and put it up on a high shelf. That way, the next time you want to play video games, you will have to set it back up. Although this is just one thing, it is a point of friction between you and the video games. So if there's less friction between you and the homework, you're more likely to do the homework than get out and set up your game. This can be like applied to any situation. Really create your environment to be as frictionless to do the right thing instead of making all of your bad habits super easy. Same thing for like, I want to be on Instagram less, so every time after I get off Instagram, I delete it from my phone. If it's on my phone, I will simply just get on the app without even thinking about it. But if it's not downloaded, when I want to get on Instagram, I have to think, is it worth re-downloading and then deleting again? Is it worth the re-download? And it's always usually not. So this is the way I keep like social media off my phone. Okay, the last lesson, and perhaps one of the most helpful lessons I've ever learned, is the 2-minute rule. And if you haven't heard of this already, it's basically used to combat procrastination. So a lot of the times when we create a habit, they can seem hard because we think we have to do the entire thing, and that creates a lot of friction to that habit. So if I want to meditate for 10 minutes, that is a lot harder for me to get started than if I say I want to meditate for 2 minutes. And that way, I'm more likely to start the habit. And the beautiful thing about this is that usually once you start the habit, you tend to finish it. So it's kind of like a brain hack to get you to start doing anything. Same thing for studying for a test. When you study for a test, you think of that task as like a 30 to 45 minute thing. And it is a lot easier for our brain just to get started if we just say, we're just going to do this for 2 minutes and then you can stop. If you want to stop, you can just stop. And this is great. The example they used in a book is, I think, a man who like hated going to the gym but told himself he could just go for 2 minutes and then leave. And I think the first day he did work out for 2 minutes and left. But then as he kept going back for 2 minutes, he started staying, and he thought, well, as I'm already at the gym, I might as well get in a good workout. So this can be used for any situation. If you just start and do the 2 minutes, you're more likely to finish the task and you already are doing it. Lessons, you will be so much better equipped for setting up good habits in 2023. And if you are at all interested in learning any more lessons about this or the science of habits, please read Atomic Habits by James Clear. He has written a fantastic book filled with so much information about how you can better yourself and create good habits. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. Yeah, thank you.